Murphy, and I am the manager of Fox and Hounds restaurant, and I will be talking about the new tips for the Fox and Hounds. Okay, everybody, thank you for joining me today. This presentation is for every member of the staff, including the food runners, the bussers, the servers, the hostess, and the kitchen staff. There are new tips, and every member needs to abide by these tips, and they're just good things and should be used every time that we approach a table. According to dummies.com of 2010, running a restaurant for dummies cheat sheet, there are 6 ways that we can tell if there is an unsatisfactory customer. We're only going to focus on 4 of them today. The first one is a human periscope, in which it's people who are looking around. Maybe they seem like they don't have what they need, so they kind of just look around and try and make it obvious that they want something. So we need to be careful and watch for these type of things. The second one is waiting on a refill. Sometimes customers get crabby when they're waiting too long for refills, so we need to make sure that we're on top of this at all times. We also need to watch for watch gazing. People staring at their watch, always checking the time. That means that they want something, they feel their food's taking too long. We just want to go up and check on them, make sure that everything is okay. The last and final one we're going to be focusing on is waving and snapping. Obviously we know that these are bad things, and we don't want people causing a scene, because that makes it look bad for all the other tables. They're not going to think that we're doing the best that we can if there's numerous tables snapping and clapping and waving and stuff like that, so to try and get our attention. So we need to make sure that we're on top of it and make sure that everybody is getting what they need when they need it. So I have created a little acronym, SHARP, as you can see, S-H-A-R-P. We're going to start with H, which means help. So help means that we need to ask questions and answer questions. A lot of customers are going to be asking questions about the building, so we need to know the history, and there's a brief history on, or I can give you a brief history now, but we can study it more on the foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. So we all know that in 1845 the first clerk of Washington County built a small one-room cabin, and then 90 years later Ray Wolf lived there, and he was an avid horseman. He restored the cabin and added the lower bar. He opened it to fellow equestrians, and it became the headquarters for the fox hunting, which is why we call it the Fox and Hounds. So then he reopened it in 1933, in which then it was the restaurant, and then had it open for many years. And then in 2006, Tom and Will Masters and Jim Constantino remodeled and reopened the restaurant. So we're going to want to know that, because a lot of people do want to know about each and every room and why they're significant, and who Ray Wolf is, because he is the most important person, because he came up with this. So then we also need to know where the bathrooms are, because many people ask the bathrooms, and when we're busy, it might seem like a long time, and it might seem like it's hard to explain, or you're just too busy to answer these questions. But even a small question as in where's the bathroom can be a difficult thing, because if you mess that up, they're going to think that we're rude and that we just don't care. And then it's also, you need to know where the bathrooms are on your server test, so then you can pass and be able to be a server. So everybody knows where they are, so just take a couple seconds and just answer the question. And if a lot of customers will ask us questions, sometimes we may not know what the answers are. So if you don't know them, then make sure that you get help. Make sure that you ask somebody that knows, or even tell the table, just say, hey, I don't know the answer, I'm going to go get somebody over here immediately. And that goes along with getting items immediately. If a customer wants, an extra side of butter or something like that, we need to get that immediately. If we can't do it, then we need to find someone else who can. We can't have customers sitting around and asking for things 4,000 times. Yes, it gets busy, but we just need to make sure that we are on top of our game. Okay. So then the second thing that we are going to worry about is attractiveness. So we need to make make sure that everything is attractive for our customers. For one that I've noticed is the plates. Sometimes they're not exactly as beautiful as we'd like them to be. You know, sometimes the cooks just slap them together, but we want to make sure that when they're leaving the kitchen and arriving to the table, there's not extra sauce on the side, there's not things flying all over, sometimes fries fall off. You know, we just want to make sure that everything looks neat and clean for everybody. We also want to make sure that our aprons and outfits are nice and clean. Make sure that everything is tied and cleaned, and that our shirts are tucked in, and that our pants are not dragging on the floor, and that our shoes are clean and black. And then we also would like to make sure that the dining rooms are clean. You know, we don't need extra trays sitting around. We want to make sure the floors are swept and vacuumed. The tables need to be clean. We don't want grease spots on the table. We don't want napkins hiding underneath. We want to make sure the silverware is nice and neat on the napkins, and that the placemats are in their correct spot. That way that we don't look trashy. We really don't want to have this, because we have added the whole placemat thing and stuff, so we just don't want it to sound or look trashy. So then, again, we would like to worry about the return. So the return, we would like to make sure that, you know, we're saying, you know, tell your friends about us, like make sure that they have a good word of mouth. If we want people to return, according to Wario of 2010, to build repeat customers, we must be consistent. You know, we can't just have a roller coaster ride for our customers. If they come back, that's awesome, but we need to make sure that every single time it seems consistent, and that sometimes they don't get, or sometimes they get too much service and sometimes they don't get enough service. We need to make sure that everything is consistent and stays together. We need to remember that each customer is valuable. You know, pretend that every single customer is your boss or something. Make sure you want to impress these people. Make sure that we smile. Smiles go a long way. You know, if you seem grumpy or in a bad mood, or you know, just inattentive, they're just not going to want to. They're not going to want to come back. They're not going to want to have you again as a server, and you probably won't get a good tip. Then we also like to remember to have manners. Let customers walk in front of you. Make sure that you say your pleases and thank yous. You know, those go a long way. They may not seem like it, but they really do. You know, make sure you don't cut anybody off. Don't be rude when you're saying like your thank yous and whatever. You know, we want to be polite, which is where it ties down to here. To polite, we want to be polite to each customer. They're important to us. You know, if we're polite and we use our manners, that just puts us one step ahead of everybody else. If we just seem like we're trying to rush everybody out, you know, it's not going to do good for us. So we just want everybody, all the customers, to know that they are important to us. And then we want to mix it all together, satisfy, save for last, because it's the most important. If we're mixing all of these together, they will become satisfaction. We want satisfaction in our meals. You know, we want them to taste, look, and be good for our customers. These are really important. We want timing. Timing is very important when it comes to when the meals come out and stuff like that, and how often you're checking on your customers. Timing is very important, and it will leave happy customers. So once again, if we mix all of these together, help, attractiveness, return, polite, and satisfy. If we mix these all together, we will have happy customers who will want to come back, and they will tell all their friends and family about what a good experience they had here at the Fox and Hounds. So I just want to say thank you for joining me today, and it was a pleasure to talk to you, and I hope that all of these things together will make customers appreciate our business. Thank you.